Hello, I'm Shauna O'Brien, and today we are going to learn about the respiratory system. This is a topic on the Junior Certificate Programme. But first, here's some fun facts about the lungs. Did you know the lungs are the only organ in the human body to float on water? And if the lungs were opened up flat, they would be the same size as a tennis court. And in humans, the right lung is larger than the left lung to accommodate the heart. There are many different reasons why I chose this topic. 1, because it's relatable. 2, the many cross-curricular links including SPHE and PE. 3, I believe it will enhance previous learning. And 4, it is a topic required for study under the new Junior Certificate Programme. But first, let's talk about what we already know about the respiratory system. Most people would recognize the words oxygen and carbon dioxide when talking about breathing, but do they know the mechanics and the science behind the respiratory system? Let's have a look at the learning intentions for today. First, we will learn about respiration, why it is needed and how it occurs in the body. Then we will look at the structure of the respiratory system and talk about the function of each part within it. We will look at the gases involved in respiration. And finally, we will talk about the possible health risks associated with the respiratory system. Through investigation, scientific discovery and research, an equation for respiration has been discovered. This is glucose plus oxygen gives energy plus carbon dioxide plus water vapor. It occurs in all living cells and it requires oxygen to break down the food. This formula for respiration is also known as aerobic respiration. It is the way your body converts food into energy so that your organs function normally. Without this energy transfer, cells cannot perform vital tasks needed for survival. The trachea. This connects the larynx to the bronchi and allows the air to pass through the neck and into the lungs. The rings of cartilage surrounding the trachea allow it to remain open to air at all times. The epithelium lining the trachea produces mucus that traps dust and other contaminants and prevents it from reaching the lungs. Bronchi and bronchioles. The trachea splits into left and right branches known as the bronchi. The left and right bronchi run into each lung. The bronchi splits into many smaller bronchioles that spread throughout the lungs and bring air to the alveoli. When greater volumes of air are required by the body, such as during exercise, the smooth muscle relaxes to dilate the bronchi and bronchioles. The alveoli. These are cup-shaped structures found at the end of bronchioles and are surrounded by capillaries. The alveoli are surrounded by a network of capillaries. Oxygen passes from the alveoli into the blood. Carbon dioxide passes from the blood into the alveoli. And finally, the diaphragm. The principal muscle of respiration in the human body is the diaphragm, located just beneath the lungs. When it moves down, it causes air to be pulled into the lungs. When the diaphragm moves back up, it causes air to be pushed out of the lungs, known as a process called inhalation and exhalation. O2 and CO2 are the gases involved in the respiratory system. O2 enters the lungs and moves across the alveoli into the blood capillaries and is brought through the blood to the heart. CO2 is brought from the heart back to the lungs and is expelled through exhalation. Next, we will look at the structure and function of the respiratory system. It is made up of many different parts carrying out each of their own functions in order for respiration to occur. Breathing is an involuntary action that requires no thought process. First, we have the nasal cavity. We breathe air in through the nose and mouth. The function of the nasal cavity is to warm, moisturize, and filter air entering the body before it reaches the lungs. Hairs and mucus line the nasal cavity and trap dust, mold, pollen, and other environmental contaminants before they can reach the inner portions of the body. Next, we have the pharynx, or otherwise known as the throat. This joins the nasal cavity to the trachea. Because the pharynx is also used to swallow food, a flap called the epiglottis is located in the pharynx. The epiglottis ensures that air passes into the trachea by covering the opening to the esophagus. The larynx, or more commonly known as the voice box. The larynx contains special structures known as vocal folds, which allow the body to produce the sounds of speech and singing. The vocal folds are folds of mucous membrane that vibrate to produce vocal sounds. The tension and vibration speed of the vocal
created using Powtoon.